Hello and welcome to the Girl Scouts of Northern Indiana-Michiana latest virtual program. My name is Coral and today I will be walking you through the 5 steps of the Playing in the Past badge for juniors. So the 5 steps include decide who you are, create a costume, experience daily fun, have some old-fashioned fun, and become your character. So after this video, just as a reminder, you need to figure out what time period you want to explore and have some fun with it and use these 5 steps to go through that time period. But today, I'm going to be introducing someone to you who was around during the 1843 time period and an invention that they created that I know today we all love very much. I also want to introduce you real quickly to another friend of mine. This is Kirsten. She was my first American Girl doll, Kirsten Larson, and she was born during this time period of 1845. So later today during this video, I will be showing you some of her outfits that she wore, just so you kind of get what type of outfits or costumes that these people had. But I hope you enjoy this video. And without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest speaker. Her name is Nancy Johnson. Enjoy. Okay, Nancy, just go on over to the chair and have a seat. And then you'll talk to the screen in front of you, which we call a computer nowadays. And you will actually just talk to the children and they will hear you wherever they are watching from. Oh! Sounds just lovely. Hello there. Hi. Thank you. I hope you all are there. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like Coral said, my name is Nancy Johnson. I was born in 1795. I grew up around Philadelphia and New Jersey. I was a housewife and took care of my children. In 1843, I came up with an invention that I'll tell you about in just a few minutes. But first, let me tell you about my time period because I'm finding it's much different than the time period you all are in. So, for instance, what outfits did these people wear? Well, the men, they wore suits. But their socks would go up to their knees and their pants would go to their knees, the length of them at least, and they would wear their suits everywhere that they go. Their hair was unpowdered, so put together, so think of like George Washington. He's the president. And yes, and their outfits were very plain in color, so none of this fun colors that you all have today. Then the women, oh yes, the women. How do you move this, Coral? Oh, okay, perfect. So the women, we wore long dresses. Mine's very long. You can see it goes all the way down. It's great. It's wonderful. If we're going to be doing housework, which is how we spent most of our time. We would wear an apron that would go on, so we can, if we get dirty, it's okay. The children, the women, the girls wore dresses, and the boys wore pants and a button-up top as well. I think later Coral will be showing you some outfits from my time. But let's talk about chores. So if you were a child, during this time period, these are things that you might have to do. As a girl, you would have to help around the house, your mother there, take care of the younger children, the younger siblings that you have. You would have to go out and collect eggs from the hens. Whereas if you have a brother, he might have to go out and cut and split and carry the firewood in to the stove. That would then keep our house warm because we don't have heaters. You would tend to the animals, like our cows and our chickens and our goats, everything. You would carry the water into our house. We do not have freezers and we do not have running water either. And you would probably have to spend some days repairing fences. So now let me tell you about my invention. So, can anyone tell me? I don't know if you guys can tell me or not, if you're on the other side of the screen. Not sure how this works, but do you like ice cream? Anybody? Just raise your hand if you enjoy ice cream. Well, I love ice cream, and so does President George Washington. But in 1843, I created the ice cream crank machine. So what that means is that you take your ingredients, like your milk and your sugar, and you put it inside this machine, and then there is a metal rod with little spikes on it that turn as you crank it. The reason why I wanted to create this invention is because I love ice cream too, and I was finding out that ice cream was quite lumpy, and I do not like lumpiness of ice cream. So I created this ice cream maker, and many more people were able to get ice cream all at once. Another interesting fact is that later on I had to sell this invention to a gentleman named Young, who bought my invention for $200. As Coral has told me, $200 in my time is a lot more than it is now. Oh, how times have changed. But yes, I believe Coral is going to be showing you later how you make ice cream in one of my crank machines. And I hope that you enjoy it. But it's been a pleasure there, children, to talk to you about my life and how the world is during my time. But have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Okay, so we're getting ready to make our ice cream. We're going to make 1 gallon of ice cream in a crank machine, just like Nancy had invented before she sold it. So the ingredients that you need are 2 cups of sugar. I've already put them in here. You will need 1/4 of a cup of water, some junket tablets, and those just enhance the ice cream. Something new that we're trying, so we'll need 6 of those. You'll need heavy whipping cream. We need 4 cups of that, and we need 6 cups of whole milk. Then we'll need 8 teaspoons of vanilla extract or vanilla flavoring. Then you'll also need ice, and you will need salt to go with that as well. So we have our sugar in here. So now we're going to, okay, so 6 cups of the whole milk going in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then of the heavy whipping cream, we need 4 cups. Just gonna use the same one. Hopefully this bowl is big enough. It should be good. We'll see. 1, 2. I'm gonna go grab other. I had a feeling I might need a second one. Glad I grabbed it while I was at the store. There we go. Round 2. 3 and 4. Okay, got all that done. Now we need 8 teaspoons of vanilla. So it says teaspoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Then I'm going to gently stir it all together. Okay, so now we're going to add in we're going to do the rest of the tablets. So what I'm doing here is I'm just breaking them open, and then they need to be crushed before they go into the lukewarm water, which they were pretty much crushed already, so that's good. So I can show you one. When it comes out, it might be crushed though. So let's see here. Yeah, it is kind of crushed. So they're just little tablets. They kind of look like those little wafer candies. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about because they were during my childhood. So there's that. It's all good. Maybe your parents know what I'm talking about. Those little flavored something wafers. Anyways, so there's one full one. Okay, and I'm just crushing it up before I put it in there. Okay, those are starting to dissolve. That's good. Okay. Okay, so those are all in there. They are all dissolving. Now we're going to take sugar we've got. We're going to do the whole milk. So we need 6 cups of the whole milk. Okay, so the parts of the machine are you have this large cylinder here that sits inside of the bucket. And then what goes inside of there, and this is the part that Nancy invented that really made it not so chunky. So you have this little guy here that has little wooden flaps, and then you have this part that goes in. So you put it in like this, and then put it up like that. And then as it is cranking, then this turns it and mixes it. So this then will go inside of here. And then the bottom, it has a little hook that keeps this in place. So just have to get the right hole. Just like that. So now it's in there. And it's ready to be churned. So I'm gonna put all the liquid that we put together in there, and then I'll take it outside into the bucket so then I can start cranking it. Ice is in, salt is ready to go, and we're just going to sit here, and I am going to crank this, and you'll see how long it takes to make ice cream. Here is Kirsten ready to go to school. She has her bonnet, her apron, her dress on, her fancy shoes, and then this is her little tote for school, and I'll show you what's inside of it here in a minute. Question for all of you, do these items look similar or different to what you use today? Here, Kirsten is ready to go out for the summer fun and go ice skating. Look at those wonderful ice skates. So how children had old-fashioned fun during this time period. Yes, they may have made ice cream with their families, like I showed you before with that crank machine. But they would have played guessing games with their friends. They would have played checkers. One game that I know most of you probably know how to play is hopscotch. So that was a fun game. Marbles is another one. And then the other one that I learned about was Blind Man Bluffs game. And what this is that it's just like tag, but the person who is being the tagger or the it person, they are blindfolded and they have to walk around. The children walked, they didn't run, but they walked around and they tried to tag other people as well. So those are just some fun games. I hope that you can maybe look up some of these games that you don't know how to play and try them out. Have fun. Okay, friends, so now we're going to make ice cream in a bag. Yes, you heard me correctly. We're going to be making ice cream today. And we're going to be using a sandwich-sized bag to put all of our ingredients in. And then I'll go through the steps on how you add the ice and create it to make this delicious treat. So what you'll need is you'll need a cup of milk, and that can be just whole milk. You could use half and half with some heavy whipping cream. You can also use 1% milk, 2% skim milk. I will be using Diamond Breeze almond milk only because I'm lactose intolerant, and so that's something that I can handle. Disclaimer though, I love ice cream. Doesn't matter if I'm lactose intolerant, I still think it's delicious. So let's get started. So first we need 1 cup of our milk. So I'm just going to pour this. It's my 1 cup. Got that in there. Set it down for just a second so I can open up my bag. Trying not to spill, that'd be really bad. So there it is right there. Then it says to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. I watched a video of someone making it with powdered sugar, so I'm going to try that with powdered sugar and see what happens. So I have my powdered sugar here, and it does say 2 tablespoons, not 2 teaspoons. That would be really bad if you use tablespoons instead of teaspoons. I can say I've definitely done that though multiple times. Made cookies with 1 tablespoon of salt and instead of a teaspoon, and it was very, very salty. I was not happy with that. So I have 1 tablespoon going in, and have my 2nd tablespoon going in, and then it calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I got my vanilla extract here. If you've logged into some of my other cooking things, I use vanilla pure bean from Mexico. So I'm just going to pour this over the sink. So when I show you mine's going to look a little different than yours because I'm using almond milk, and almond milk is not that clear white color. So I have it like this, and then I'm going to squeeze out excess air as best as I can. So now it's all sealed up, and I'm just going to use my hands and kind of mush it all together to make sure that the powdered sugar and the vanilla extract are all mixed together. So there's what it kind of looks like. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this now and I'm going to actually put it in a second little Ziploc baggie. The reason why I do this is because I have found over the years of making ice cream in a bag that sometimes when I take it all out and everything, my ice cream tastes like salt, and that's just because of the outside portion getting into the Ziploc. So getting out as much air as possible. So now I have my Ziploc within my Ziploc. Then what I have is another Ziploc baggie. Ooh, there we go. Just a gallon. Here we go. And I have my ice. I see it. So I have ice. I'm just going to put it on into this big Ziploc baggie. got some ice. I'm going to add a little bit more ice. These are really cute. Beautiful. Just like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some salt. And I'm just sprinkling it in there a little bit. This is just your regular salt from the table. Nothing fancy here. Then this bag is going to go in with this guy. And you don't have to get out the air if you don't want to. It doesn't matter. And then the fun part comes. You're going to take this and you're just going to shake it. As much as you can, continuously moving it for about 5 to 10 minutes. It might be wise to go outside, so in case it does start to leak, then you'll be okay. But I'll come back and I'll show you what happens. So it's been about 10 to 15 minutes or so, and I've just been shaking that bag like crazy. And I just wanted to show you, this is what it looks like right now. Pretty hard to see, so let me get out a spoon. And you can see that it's not liquid anymore. Well, maybe you can see it, but can you see like the chunks on it and stuff? Well, that tastes really good. So what I'm going to actually do before I enjoy it is I'm going to actually just put it in the freezer for a little while and let it harden and set, and then I will enjoy it. Thank you so much for joining me today for the Playing in the Past video. So what new things did you learn today? Can you write them in the comments? Were there any interesting facts that you learned from myself or from Nancy? Did you know that Nancy invented the ice cream crank machine? And my other question for you is, have you ever made ice cream in a bag? If not, will you try it today or later this week? So I want to invite each and every single one of you to join us on June 13th at 5:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Camp Here and There events. You can register today on our website underneath the Activities tab. This event will take place here on our Facebook page. So the Facebook page that you're using to watch this video, that's where you'll find the event as well. So I hope you will come and join all of us for this Camp Out events. See you soon. Bye-bye.